Hi everyone, this is Haley Danielle with part 5 on my series about emotional dependency. So for this video, I'm going to give you 4 points to freedom from emotional dependency. So point 1, counseling. 2, triggers and tendencies. 3, boundaries and safeguards. And number 4, the real you. So 1, counseling. I'm a big proponent of counseling. I've seen a number of counselors in my time of dealing with emotional dependency, depression, self-harm, suicide, all that. But to even work through just the daily wonderings of life, like how do I interact with this tough relationship situation, whether it be family, whether it be a friend, close friend, distant friend, stranger, whatever. I had this interaction with somebody. They didn't know me, I didn't know them, but they said this, and I'm wondering, well, does it have merit to it? Should I look into it? Like, whatever. Financial situations. You're not sure what you should do in this situation. You have this option and this option, but you just need a little bit of extra wisdom or a different perspective as to what to do, but you don't want to go spreading your news around to everybody who will listen, which will probably be a lot of people. And then they'll offer all their insight, whether you ask for it or not. Well, you go to a safer space, which is a counselor. So choosing a counselor, take your time, shop around if you need to. For me, it wasn't the case. I didn't take my time. I didn't shop around. I did a Google search. I don't know how it worked out. Excuse me, the one I'm using now. I don't know how it worked out, but I typed in something and this person came up. I clicked on the link to their website, piddled around for a bit. They didn't even have their prices listed. I was tight on money, but I decided to go for their free 15-minute call anyhow because I was pretty desperate. And so I did the 15-minute call, and in that 15-minute call, they told me their rates. And after I finished with my mini heart attack and came back to consciousness, then I thought, I can't do that. I have to do it. This person seems like they'd be a great fit. I'm going to find a way to do it as long as I can do it. So I did it. That was like 2 years ago, 2.5. I think it was like two and a half years ago. I've struggled with money because I've not always managed it well, but then also I've been paying for the sins of my past with emotional dependency and depression. So I've had a lot of pieces that I've had to put together from the chaos and rubble of my life from my 20s in my 30s. So it's been quite a challenge, and I've been having to play catch up, definitely. But I've been doing it. So my finances are definitely better now in a lot of ways, just because my financial head is better. But yeah, it is better, and it's getting even better and better, and it will continue to get better because I'm gonna make sure it gets better. Anyhow, my counselor just fit. Like, she really did. I don't like the whole beating around the bush. Like, I'm paying so-and-so money per hour. Like, don't beat around the bush, beat the bush down, and let's just walk through it, walk over it, trample it, whatever we gotta do to get straight to what I need to work on. And that's the thing about me. I'm a bit disciplined, quite a bit disciplined, and I'm constantly working on things, whether it be character traits I want to change or the direction that my life is going, where I live, what job I have, going towards a career, but having to get a job in the meantime just to make sure I keep up with all my expenses and I do well there, a good steward of that. If it's time I spend with, say, family, or time I spend with friends, whether I need to pull back that time and put that time somewhere else, or whether I've pulled back too much and I need to invest a little more time in my friendships, whatever. I'm just pretty much constantly trying to work on something and become better in some area, if not a few at a time. So my counselor is perfect for me. She just gives it to me straight. She tells me exactly what she thinks. She's not worried about, she's not going around trying to hurt my feelings, but she also knows that in the right context, my feelings are just pretty, can be pretty solid in the wrong context, my feelings can just be way too soft, and then I've got to do a lot of work to toughen myself up there. But when it's in our counseling sessions, it just works really well. So try to find that right person. I'm not saying the right person who just validates everything that you say and says yes, it's right, and it just turns into this gossip session and you're right about everything, and they owe you this and all. No, not anyone who enables your maybe toxic thinking, not anyone who promotes or helps along a desire for revenge in you or bitterness in you. None of that is healthy, and none of that is worth your time or money, or it shouldn't be, or else you maybe don't really want to get better. So someone who challenges you to get out of your comfort zone, somebody who tells you, hey, you're not exactly right in this. But then someone who also will say, when you are right, they'll let you know. When you have done something well, they'll say, yeah, you did well there. But when you are doing something that is not good behavior, they're not going to just enable you and let you do that. Number 2, triggers and tendencies. You got to study yourself. Get to know what kind of things get you way too excited and get you living off your emotions and trying to just feed your emotions. Those kind of things probably aren't so healthy. And you got to find the right balance there. Because, say, for instance, if you have kids, you need to have positive emotions for your kids. So you don't just cut those off. But what are the things that are leading to too much anxiety for you? What are the things that are leading you to project your fears onto your children in an unhealthy way, to where you're not teaching them to just be cautious and be aware and be wise, but you're teaching them to just be super scared of everything and automatically jump to the most negative things that could possibly happen. So yeah, study yourself, look at what triggers you to be emotionally a bit too much internally. And what are your tendencies when you find someone who you really like and you really respect, or you find someone who has character traits that you want to implement in your own life and you feel like you don't have them? Do you tend to just latch on super quickly? Well, if you do, maybe you pull back a little bit. Maybe you say, no, I know where that goes, and I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to be that person, so I'm going to pull back a little bit. Maybe I can interact a little bit, and then I pull back. Interact a little bit, and then I pull back. Because you don't have to just pour all in and get everything you possibly can as quickly as you can. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So let some things transform and happen more organically. Number 3, boundaries and safeguards. This is a huge one. I wish it was taught in schools, but as far as I know, it's just not, or it's not taught in very many of them. You got to put your safeguards in place. You've got to put boundaries sometimes up against yourself, against your own emotions, especially when you're dealing with emotional dependency, but also when it comes to other people, say other people who are emotionally dependent, and whether they realize it or not, they're seeking out to form a codependent relationship with you. You got to put these boundaries in place. You got to put these safeguards and say, hey, this is my space. So this runs all this. So all the fluttering butterfly emotions, or all the anger and all that, it doesn't run this. It doesn't run my actions. I take care of this with wisdom. I use discernment, and I slow things down when they get a little too crazy and a little too hectic and a little too fast. And I breathe and I take my time. It's okay. If you want to come in and if you want to suck the life out of me, no. If you want to come in, if you want me to suck the life out of you for some reason because you're a bit unhealthy, no, that's not what I want to do. So as far as establishing the boundaries, you've got to find out who you are, find out what your negative traits are, what your negative tendencies are, and then find out what your positive ones are, and then put these safeguards in place to block the negative ones from dictating your actions, and protect the positive ones so they can continue to rejuvenate you and help you become a better person and be the person you were meant to be. And the 4 is be the real you. So what I did for me to help find the real me and actually start being that person is, who was I when I was 2, 3, 4 years old? before people came in and started dictating my life. For one, and I'll just give you one example, I was a person who pushed the limits. I loved a challenge. I didn't play it safe. So I had to get back to that when I really addressed myself in this area last year, and I had to say, okay, I need to start pushing the limits now. I've been playing it safe for far too long, and that's just not who I was created to be on this earth. So I need to start walking to that. So decided to go on a little adventure, do the full-time RV life, which my other YouTube channel, Rootless Maverick, addresses that side of things. But and it hasn't quite worked out the way I planned on it, but I'm about to take a few more trips and adventures here and there. But I had to just become true to myself, because there's a reason why I was put on this earth, and it wasn't to play it safe. If I was born to be a person who challenges myself, challenges even other people, if I was born to be a person who pushed the limits, if I was born to be a person who didn't know fear quite like everybody else, then I need to use wisdom, or I needed to learn wisdom, because I didn't exactly come with that naturally. But then I have to step out and be that kind of person, because we need the kind of people who play it safe. We also need the people who push the limits, because people who push the limits are the ones who find new ways of doing things. They're the ones who find new discoveries or experiment and create something brand new. So we need those people, but we need the people who play it safe, because they keep some of us more crazy, living on the edge kind of people at bay. So it's good, because good thing there. So those are the 4 points. Go over them again. Number 1, counseling. 2, triggers and tendencies. 3, boundaries and safeguards. And 4, be the real you, not the you that Google tells you you are. Like, if you have this and this and this, and you like this and this and this, then you are this person. No, who were you originally created to be before all that other stuff, before technology and everything else came in and told you who you are? What's your real identity? Be that, because we need you to be that. You need you to be that. Be true to yourself. Thanks for joining.